So I actually just did a whole thing where I welcomed you back and I put my camera down and I set up my camera and we talked, but I forgot to press record, so run that back. But welcome back. It's been a couple of weeks. I missed last week's video and I pre-recorded a few videos, so it feels like a little while since I've done one of these. And I've been forgetting the whole reason of this YouTube is to push me to not be lazy when it comes to photography, to not rely on the owls and lions, not rely on the owls and just get out there and see what we can see. And that's exactly what we're doing today. We've got a couple of hours walking around this gorgeous, really, really local woodland. It's not taking me long to get here. It's within walking distance and there's zero pressure. There's no pressure to find anything. There's no pressure to take any photographs. Obviously, whatever happens, happens. We'd always love to take a picture, but in reality, what it's going to look like is this. I'm going to find a gorgeous spot, not here, but somewhere that way, and I'm going to go and sit and wait and see what happens. The privilege of time and the privilege of not needing to find anything, and I'm just going to enjoy it, and that's exactly what the channel is about. That's what wildlife photography is. The art of just existing somewhere that is beautiful. And if you see something great, if you don't, it doesn't matter, because you just spent an hour, 2 hours sitting somewhere so peaceful, so re-energizing, that is so important in today's world. And we can talk, we can chat, we can waffle, and sort of let the video make itself, which is, I'm actually looking forward to it. So since I've already sat here for 3 minutes talking and then re-filming, I think we should probably just get off and go. And normally, in these sorts of videos, the person would get up and they'd do a dramatic walk away and then come back for the camera. But I'm not doing that because I've napped already today because I'm so tired. So I'm just going to pick you up and we're going to go. What I didn't expect to happen today is this fence line is give me pretty insane flashbacks to the Caribbean fencing. I'm steeper hills than this with the barbed wire, all that fun stuff. Back in February, October to March, it was a heavy time of year, and seeing fence on a hill with barbed wire and wooden posts, that is it's terrifying to me now. So that's quite funny. Now, as I was just reflecting on my time in the Caribbean, I thought maybe while I'm sitting and watching and seeing, I'd talk to you a little bit about my journey, if journey is the right word, to get to where we are, and maybe describe a little bit where I think I am, because it's not obvious from online. I am an aspiring wildlife photographer. That is what I am. I'm not a professional wildlife photographer. I don't make nearly enough money to call myself that, nor do I think I am good enough at certain aspects of being a wildlife photographer to call myself a professional. So I think semi-professional is acceptable. And then there's another side to that. I am also a wildlife conservationist. Now, I haven't used that much, but I did use it in the Caribbean. And I got a master's degree from Bangor. I studied zoology and conservation for 3 years to get my undergrad, and then I did a 2-year master's. And my research was cool. I did a project looking at how zoos in the UK can be designed in a way to promote native garden bird conservation as well as the exotic species conservation. So if you have a tiger enclosure, how do we design the tiger enclosure to include native vegetation, native plant species, native tree species, which in turn will support native garden birds, your house sparrows, your blue tits, and then how having a healthy population of the garden birds at zoos can be used to inspire and educate the general public who have the access to manage their own gardens in a way to promote native bird conservation. And that was something I was very interested in. It was a really cool project, but I was not the right person to do it. I am not academic enough for that, whereas my entire family is. So while I enjoyed the project and while I believe in the project and the research that was done, it wasn't the best research, and I did get my master's, but it wasn't the best. But conservation has my heart entirely, as does photography, and I am in this desperate need to merge the two effectively and to try and make real world change using photography as a tool for conservation. And that's something that I think is a lot harder than people realise, and something that conservation seemingly is a word that people can slapstick onto anything, and there's no sort of check, there's no validation. You can be a conservationist without having done anything, and I think that's dangerous. So in a world that's struggling, I'm trying to help and find my own path into making a career out of it. I mean, recently the wildfires here in the UK, I mean the whole UK is on fire right now, which is crazy. We've had fires here in the Peak District burning for the last 4 weeks, set off because of fireworks. We've had droughts in Wales, we've had fires in the Cairngorms, and in an environment that is struggling massively, one of the easiest things we can do is not set fire to it, and that is why I got so invested into the fires at home. Getting rid of disposable barbecues, they're not littering, they're respecting the environment that you're going to travel to. That's something that I feel like I can potentially make a little bit of impact in, at least in the education. And that's something that I'm looking to try and sort some sort of campaign out for next year to try and get ahead of it. So that is my journey in conservation. Photography is something I've done for 15 years now, I think. I had an iPhone 4 in Costa Rica taking pictures of basilisks. I think if you scroll all the way down to my very first photo on Instagram, I think it's from Costa Rica, and it's a really crappy iPhone photo, good at the time, of a lizard. And I was like, this is cool. Really got into it. Massive crickets, I remember vividly, taking pictures of them, and then boat trips, and started filming sunsets on a little point and shoot, dolphins in Tenerife on a university trip. And it kind of just spiraled. My parents are avid birders. They used to always drag us out when we were young as kids, and I was a begrudging birder and still am as a result of that. You know, when I wanted to stay in and play games, they drag us out to find ringoozles in the Peak District, you know, to places like this, which I'm incredibly grateful for now, but at the time I couldn't have thought of anything worse. And as I've grown up, I've really come to appreciate that time, and that's where the bird side has come in. Now the barn owls are just a local spot. It's just my local patch, and that's why I've spent so long with them, because I can. I've worked 9-hour shifts and then come straight out. Sorry, is that a barn owl or is that a seagull? What nabby words? Say the word barn owl and they appear. It's got to be a seagull out of this time. Got flies flying around the face, which is really frustrating. Probably hear it on the mic. Oh, it's a grey or black-backed gull. Anyway, barn owls have become a massive part of my journey, and that is what's really grown my Instagram the most. I found a patch that is incredible. I cannot take any credit for the calibre of photos that I took in those first few years. That was pure location being as incredible as it is. And when I posted them, they did very well. And I started to go viral a little bit and gain a lot of followers that way. And for whatever reason, people associate numbers with success and professional standing, which isn't the case. My numbers mean nothing. There are professional photographers with way less, and there are amateur photographers with way more. It is just a game, essentially, social media. It's an incredible tool, it's an incredible privilege to be able to use and get inspired by, but it is just a tool to use. It's free advertising, it's a way to promote yourself to big brands who can help navigate that career properly. So I guess, as a buzzard flies over. Beautiful. I guess the question then is, what is the next route? What is the route to becoming a professional wildlife photographer? And that's something that I'm working out day by day. Nobody knows. I think everyone has forged their own way into it. I think I could have made a lot more money if my ethics weren't as strong as they are. And that is something that I'm proud of. And that is something that I will hold to. But I think the route is fairly straightforward, and the route is just the waiting game for me at the moment. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep spending as much time as I can taking these photos of an incredible family of barn owls and little owls. I'm going to keep putting out as much content as I can, keep putting out good content, elevating this YouTube as best we can, making sure we're not slacking and lacking. And the real challenge will be moving to autumn and winter when the owls go. There's a lot of really good wildlife here in the UK, and it'll be the first winter in a little while that I've spent here, and especially the first winter where I'm trying to drive and do photography as best I can. I spent one winter working in Zimbabwe, so I skipped that, and the other one working in the Caribbean. And the one before that, I just got back from travelling, and I had a lot of content that I was just pushing out on repeat. So this will be the first real test, and I'm looking forward to it. Obviously we've got murmurations, we've got hares, really cool wildlife activities and behaviours to film. So I'm looking forward to getting out and really trying to push myself in that regard. And I've also got so much footage of barn owls and little owls to go through. Oh my god. What has become a real struggle at the moment with the YouTube is the fact that I am not willing to post content of fledglings and owlets in real time. And so all my time that I spend up there for the last 7 weeks I haven't been able to share, which has made getting content out quite difficult. I can share the sort of less intimate moments, the adults hunting, the adults resting, the nothing special, but special images that are no outside the norm, nothing that's going to make people excited and come up. But the really, really magic moments I'm not willing to share yet. So there's going to be a good 7 weeks, I think, of YouTube videos coming out with that, and then one big story at the end of it, which I'll try and make quite long and turn into some sort of feature film or something like that, which I'm looking forward to sinking my teeth into. But for now, we have these little dolphins. Where did it go? It's a gorgeous bird. Beautiful. Anyway, I think I've waffled too much. I think I've done enough talking in this spot. We're going to keep on walking, keep on moving. See if we can find anything before we call it a day. Well, as you can tell, I'm not outside anymore. I did wrap up that video. I didn't see anything else. It was unfortunately a pretty lacking couple of hours for wildlife, but that's probably my fault for not being out there long enough. And also I was out at a weird time of day because I was trying to prioritise getting up to the barn for the right time, which I did go up and I saw some very nice things, which will all come soon. I promise I will show you some really cool barn owl content soon. But yeah, no, I appreciate having this opportunity to just be outside for 2 hours without having to worry about too much, which is nice. A lot of my time at the moment is spent obsessing over these barn owls. So to have 2 hours just to talk to you guys and just to waffle and sit and just be outside was nice, and I really enjoyed filming it. I'm not sure how well it's going to come across as a video. I know I waffled a lot and spoke rambling on as I do. Hopefully it's enjoyable, and I will try and get out to some sort of reserve or do some actual photography or find another way of getting a video out next week. But until then, thank you for watching. I will see you soon, and have a beautiful weekend, or Monday. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you this time next Monday.